I'm Christian with Vision Interactive here at Dallas Digital Summit 2018 with Andrea Leitch. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. So you just gave a great talk on storytelling. Can you just give us a little bit about it?
Sure. I was talking about how storytelling is still really essential to the future of marketing. And I was trying to give an overview of the different ways that organizations, whether large or small, can do that.
Awesome. So what is like a big takeaway for people if they couldn't attend? What should they be looking for?
I would say that they really need to focus on creating really strong, compelling content, and also look at what their competitors are doing and see how they can kind of break through the noise because there's so much going on out there. And also, pursue what works for you, because not every single social account may work for a particular organization, but it could for another.
Right. Yeah. You were saying that National Geographic, there were some channels that worked, some that didn't. That's kind of surprising. You'd think they'd all work, but yeah, why was that?
I think that, you can't just try and talk to everyone, and really the content that you provide on particular social accounts, you really need to speak to the audience. You can't just share something on one particular page and share it on another page and another page. You really need to curate it for the audience on that social account. Yeah. But at the same time, too, sometimes it just doesn't work because, with National Geographic, it's a legacy brand, but at the same time, too, just like many companies are trying to bring in younger millennials and the other generation below them, and they're on Snap, they're on Instagram, but when we try Snap, that doesn't quite work with our audience. So
right. Yeah,
and it's okay, and acknowledging that it doesn't work, but you tried, and then sunsetting it. That's what digital is for.
It's perfectly fine, right?
Yeah.
And you guys have some really beautiful imagery, obviously. So for other brands that maybe are a little drier, maybe there's not as many images to choose from, what are some tips for them?
I would say, at the Oklahoma Aquarium, we don't have the National Geographic photographers, but the iPhone goes a really long way. And honestly, we were even working with photographers at National Geographic who are using their iPhone to capture some of the most compelling images, that some of which you saw in today's presentation. But I would just say we have a social media producer who is both responsible for the pictures, because I think when you just put out a link or a blank statement, it should always be accompanied with a picture. It doesn't have to be the best picture, but it gives a sense of place and an idea of what you're talking about. So I think just no matter how good the picture is or how poorly it's done, I think just showing it can really provide helpful insight.
It's better than just text, for sure.
Yes.
Awesome. So going into 2019, what would be kind of your advice for businesses?
I would say that businesses should really rely on newsletters and e-blasts more than focusing so much on social media, because that's always kind of out of our control. We experienced at National Geographic, and Facebook was a partner for us, the algorithm changing constantly, and newsletters are something you can control, and that to me is where you have a very loyal audience. And I think Facebook's great for the back and forth conversation, but I think in 2019 people really need to spend more time thinking about newsletters, doing A/B testing, and investing more there as opposed to just social media.
Yeah, it's a great tip. So kind of a fun bonus question. If you could be any superhero, who would you be?
That is a great question, because I'm more of a Disney fan, and so I'm constantly like, which Disney princess I would be. But for a superhero, I would probably say, and this will be very strange to hear, but Deadpool, because I think he's so funny, and I like the humor, and it makes difficult situations easier when you have someone with good humor.
Yep. I like it. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks.